Suivons l'histoire du Congo et les documentaires des Congolais. Soyons connectés sur les actualités des filles et des fils du pays, partout dans le monde. Découvrons des émissions de qualité, partageons notre savoir. Nous sommes à votre disposition pour vos émissions en direct de notre studio, dans vos églises.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your one and only, Marlene Mayele. I love to bring you guys subjects that I know that we can dig in deep and really discuss things. And by the time we finish the show, I know that you've been educated and I have also been educated. So today I have with me a young lady that most of you probably know because she's our former Miss Congo for 2017. And she's also an active HIV/AIDS campaigner. I want to get to know what it is that she does, why she does it, and I really want to get an insight into all the activities. And as gullible as I may sound, I don't know all the information that there is in terms of HIV, AIDS, and how to be around someone who has it, how to live with them, what can we do or what can we not do, and I want to know more, and I want you to know more, and I want you to be educated. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together if you didn't before for the one and only former Miss Congo.
Hello.
Hiya. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi everyone, my name is Horcelie Sinda. I'm an artist, activist and campaigner.
Nice. So in regards to being a campaigner, what are the few things that you campaign for?
So I campaign about our amazing motherland, Congo. I campaign about public health.
Yeah.
And within the public health, and that's when HIV is all come into it. So I saw a lot of campaigns of Congo and public health.
And public health.
Yeah.
And yourself, you said active campaigner. Why the word active?
Well, you're always today. I'm campaigning, and I'm well, not really campaigning, but I'm here as an activist. So being active is really what the word means. It means you're continuously working towards a goal, change, for example, social justice, as we could say as well. So that's what an activist does. You're always running around, not just necessarily running around, but you're always doing things, going to places, because as much as we would like everyone to know, but it's physically impossible to be in one place at one time. So you'll be traveling to other places. I've traveled to many other places too. So you're active everywhere, not just in your home country.
Not just in your home country. Yeah. Nice. So in regards to your own personal life, what do you work as, or is this your full-time job?
I don't think I can do this as a full-time job. It's too intense. It's too intense. But no, I work as an activity coordinator. So what that is we coordinate activities with residents who've had neurological conditions or long-term conditions. So for example, we have residents who had a car accident. We have residents who have attempted suicide. So what that has done is they have kind of the illness or the condition that they have is for long term. Yeah. And some of them have been in the care home for, let's say, 10 years. Some have been there for 5 years. Others have had stroke as well, because stroke can also, give a long time condition or long term.
Okay. So those illness. Who are staying in care homes.
Yes.
And you guys are,
yes.
Okay.
So what the condition that they're in, it has kind of because we have 5 senses. Because when we talk about neuro, we're talking about the cells, we're talking about brain cells.
So they have lost at least maybe 1 or 2 of the senses.
Yeah. Some have lost 4 of the senses. Wow. We have a man there who was stabbed in the chest, and so he hasn't lost his sense of touch, but some of his fingers they don't function as we function with our fingers. But he's lost sight, but he still has taste. And we have others that who've also lost taste, so they have to be fed through the stomach. So peg fed, as we call it. Yeah.
That's a very intense job.
It is.
I don't think I could be able to work in a position like that.
Yeah. It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. I'm too emotional. Yeah. But we first, or should I say, the Congolese African community, we got to know you perhaps first in 2017.
Yeah.
you were taking part in a beauty pageant with Miss Congo.
Yeah.
And it's a long journey. We all know how that journey goes on.
Yeah.
And you grew from there to now. But the one thing we got to discover was your story. And your story was, you're not just an active campaigner. You are also one of the people who are living in such condition of HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
And I mean, having to get up and say that. You know, sometimes we say things at home in the mirror, right? It's like, yeah, I look like this. But to say it out loud in front of hundreds of people.
Now millions.
Well, I was in the room, I'm just like, millions and hundreds, because you did interviews as well with BBC Africa and other places that you went in order to campaign for it and to speak about your experience. And having to work with those girls for weeks and weeks. How did you do it?
I think in life, you go through a journey, as you say, you go through growth, like you said also, and it comes to a certain period of your time. You make a decision. Sometimes it can be based on your feelings, emotion, experiences, what others have said to you, and you just get to the point where you say, this is what it is. But I also think I've watched a movie when I came back from South Africa volunteering, and in that movie it said anyone can be courageous, but courage without wisdom is just courage. So I think what I'm trying to say is, I had to learn other things because, you know, as our community is like, I can't just boom say I'm HIV positive. Okay, I'm HIV positive. Okay, so what's the big deal? You know what I mean?
They'll just like grab you by the throat.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly. So with the wisdom that I've obtained from life, my previous experiences, is what led me to say what I needed to say. And I think it's such a shock to see and to hear that we are still living in this time in 2018, that not just the Congolese community, not just the African community, the European community, you know, we're still in this time, or maybe not so much European, but I would say African community. We're still in a time where we stigmatize a lot of illnesses. We don't know so much about so much, which is crazy, because we've been given the tools, we've been given information here, and we're not using it as we should in order to empower, to educate. So I think that's what got me. I said, you know what, God, it is what it is. And I was in prayer too, because I said, God, I'm not going to put myself in the public eye and don't know what I'm doing. You need to equip me along the way. I'm a Christian. I said I need the Holy Spirit to do what I'm doing, because it's so important. Because like I said, the media is not an easy job like you're doing. It's not easy to give out information, correct information. So that's when I go to a place, I said, nah, this has to, either God, this has to change, or I still live in silence and die in silence. And I said, no, I need to, something needs to happen.
So before you took part in that journey, you were not really that active?
I was active, actually, as in the journey of Miss Congo. Yeah, I was active. So I went to, way before even getting so deep into activism, I used to do a research for my artwork, learning about not necessarily developments, but African history. So and I said, you know, I'm learning so much, but I'm not being practical. So you have to, you know, put your words into practice. So what I did was I volunteered in South Africa for 3 months, and so when we were there, that's basically, I would say, that was the foundation of it all, because what I learned in South Africa is what I was able to, you know, implement here in the UK, within my community. So we learned so much, not just about HIV, we learned about rape, we learned about sexual abuse, we learned about you know, livelihood, you know, just so many things that the young people are facing within the communities in in the Eastern Cape. So that's where we were. So we were in the rural. We were not in the nice Cape Town, as we say, but we were in the rural. We were learning so much about so many different things. So it was development work, and that's what led me to pursue Miss Congo UK, and, you know, continue community work.
To continue community. We actually have pictures of you when you were in South Africa doing your charity work with the kids. We'll put it up. We'll show the audience your active work in South Africa. So it was from there, when you were in South Africa, once you did that, when you were coming back to the UK, you needed a next move, you needed a next plan.
Yeah, basically. So when I went with International Citizen Services.
Yeah.
But they are an organization that works with other different independent organizations. I think it's at least 8, if I'm not correct. Yeah, that's one of the pictures.
So that's one of the pictures. So you worked with most of the students.
Yeah, there was loads of students.
Yeah.
So so as we were, so I work with residence developments, to be specific, through ICS, because you send your application form and they decide where you're going. So I remember when I got through the interview, they told me, oh, you got through. I was praying to God, please let it be Africa.
How long were you there for?
3 months.
3 months,
yeah,
amazing.
3 months.
Yeah.
So I went through ICS Citizen Services, and when we arrived, they gave us training, even gave us pre-departure training. So we would train here. We went to where was it? I forgot where the place is called, outside of London. So we went training there. We stayed over to weekend, and then when we were there, when we arrived in South Africa, we also had other training. Because they can't just expose us in front of people, because we all have different, like I have an art degree, I don't have a degree in public health. So that's what it was. And so you volunteer for 9 months. 3 months is is overseas placement, and then 6 months when you come back, because I signed a contract, and when you come back you continue doing the work. So for example, you could say after volunteering I wrote a letter to my MP, so they call it Action at Home. So during my Action at Home, the 6 months of my Action at Home, I included Miss Congo UK inside. I also
so that was part of my
Action at Home. Because even there's some videos when I was still Miss Congo, still contesting. I gave a workshop with the contestants, Miss Congo UK contestants, as well as the founder, and everyone else was there, and I recorded it and I sent it back to ICS, and I told them this is my other Action at Home. And
so you were kind of like killing two birds with one stone.
And then I also did Youth Stop AIDS. I went to what's it called? We went on tour in the UK.
We have some images of the Youth Stop AIDS.
Yeah, that was intense. I was like, you know what? That's crazy. It was funny. I did it again this year. We went to, this one was in America.
This one was one when you went to the
America. This is Connecticut. So we were there in Connecticut.
And how long were you there for?
We were there for 10 days. It was 8 days, because 8 days we went to 3 different states. So we arrived in New York, and then we drove to Boston. We drove to Boston. No, we drove to Connecticut, and then we drove to Boston, and we also spoke at university. What's it called? What's the university called? I cannot forget the university. Anyway, one of the big universities in America. Harvard University. We spoke there, and then after that we drove back to New York again, and then we went to a 2 days or 1 day workshop with the month. So it's basically like this radio show in America where they teach people how to do storytelling. So it was a great experience.
Amazing. I'm going to share a video of which is taken from BBC Africa News when they were announcing in 2017 that you had won Miss Congo, and the fact that you were 21 at the time and you were active AIDS campaigner, so it was literally the news at the time. So we're going to just show you a video of former Miss Congo.
There are dozens of African beauty pageants that happen here in the UK, and this weekend it was the turn of the Democratic Republic of Congo to take centre stage. Miss Congo UK aims to highlight Congolese culture, knowledge and beauty. This year's winner is raising awareness of the millions of Africans who are living with HIV. The BBC's René Bissihong reports.
This is Horcelie Sinda Wambongo, this year's Miss Congo UK. The 22-year-old fine arts student and HIV campaigner was crowned on Saturday during the annual beauty pageant.
I was really open to anything that can happen tonight, but honestly, deep down in my heart, I did want to win Miss Congo UK.
Each contestant had to show what they knew about Congolese tradition and culture. The night was divided into 3 parts. First, a traditional dance, then a swimsuit presentation, Congolese style, and finally a question and answer session.
How we can make the changes.
Competing has been a struggle for Horcelie, who is HIV positive herself.
And I feel like I'm going to cry because I've never won anything in most of the things I've done, even A-levels, school, I've always got the basic. Not saying this is the most exceptional thing, but what I'm saying is I'm happy to have won at least something in my life, and my story has won people's hearts, and that's the most important.
She hopes by telling her personal story, she will be able to help other young people going through the same situation as her. She will now spend some time in Congo helping others confronting the same disease. Renée Bisson, BBC News, London.
There you go, you saw it yourself. That took place in 2017. That was BBC News, BBC Africa News, announcing that she had won the Miss Congo 2017. And like she said herself, that was part of her journey, part of her the activities that you do. So you're active at home.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be more than you expected, or you were you always
grace.
aiming to win?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was. If you, I was very, very competitive, and I put too much on myself. If you ask the girls, they're gonna tell you I was very, very competitive. It's not to to be arrogant, but I won a lot of other things because you have to. We had sessions.
So you didn't want to break the chain.
No, I raised the highest money. I what's it called? I invited 15 people, and all of them came, and we had many other small competition just so they can see how we were doing. And I wouldn't say I won all of them, but I did.
But you did well.
Yeah. So I was very, and one of the reasons why I went for Youth Stop AIDS is because I said I can't just give the community and say this is what I hope to do, and that's just hope. There's no guarantee it's going to happen. So that's why I said no. I have to do something beforehand. So when I am already there, I can say this is what I have done. So I have no time to waste. So that's basically why I did what I did before, during contesting.
Did you do the Youth Stop AIDS during as well?
Yeah, I did Youth Stop AIDS. We went to speak in departments for international development, and we spoke in BBC as well. I think it was the what's it called? One of the newspaper. I forgot the newspaper's name, but we had other media coverage as well because they have obviously the media coverage themselves. The work they do. We went to Dundee University of Newcastle, Leeds University. So we went to different universities, and I spoke to the House of Parliament as well. And I'm still in contact with them, so I still do activism with Youth Stop AIDS. So it was basically through that. And we went in January, and Miss Congo UK was in April. So I went on tour in January. Yeah.
I was looking like a ramble.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show another video, which is news from Asian community actually, speaking about her and winning Miss Congo and once again being AIDS active.
Now to the Congo and a growing international campaign to improve healthcare there. This weekend we'll see Yellow Sunday, an annual event aimed
22-year-old HIV-positive model crowned Miss Congo UK 2017. Horcelie Sinda Mbongo was only 11-year-old when she was discovered that she has HIV positive. The 22-year-old fine arts student, who hails from Democratic Republic of Congo and lives in the UK, was born with HIV. Earlier this month, Horcelie couldn't control her tears when she was crowned with Miss Congo UK 2017 held at Stanford Town Hall. And now she is campaigning the stigma around HIV/AIDS. In another candid interviews to BBC Africa, Horcelie spoke about how she felt when she came to know about HIV at a very young age, how she hadn't taken a medicine for AIDS prior to that, her dreams, her view on having a boyfriend, and many more. Sharnia S. Nair, ANNews.in.
There you go. You see that it was not just an activity that took place in the Congolese community. It was being spoken about even in the Asian community in regards to her being HIV active and winning Miss Congo in 2017. We also have another video that we'll show to you in a bit, but before I go to that, I just want to know the whole journey. How do you think it went for you?
After winning?
Yeah.
Oh, it was intense. It was so much. I think it was after after finishing Miss Congo, I think I was like, what in the world? How did I do it? Because so October, I went to Big Weekend before even going on tour. I went for Big Weekend and I was writing my dissertation, and my deadline was in January. So I just finished writing my dissertation. Actually gave it late. Gave in my dissertation. Likely, I prayed on that and they said they accepted it.
2-1 or 2-2?
No, I got 2-2. I got
anything
2-2.
underneath that's not acceptable.
It is. You gotta work hard. It doesn't matter what you've got as long as you keep working hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I gave him my dissertation and then went on tour and then won Miss Congo and then all the other interviews followed. So it was too much, and I was working 2 jobs and I was waiting for my graduation.
Did you have a moment of madness in between all of that?
I had a lot of moments
of madness where you just go like, oh!
Yeah, I cried. There were many times I sat at home, I cried. People don't know this, but it's too much because you're putting your life forward. And a lot of people who interview you are not necessarily, I wouldn't say...
They don't have a big interest for
no,
you. They just want to get the information.
Exactly.
I want to get the information too,
exactly.
but you know.
But it's just, there's a way of doing it. And being 21 at the time, I thank God for the direction, but at the same time, I don't think I can do such a thing again. Do all these things I was doing, and I lost weight, and I was crying a lot because although I cried on stage, like I said, there's healing takes time. It's a process. You can't just be healed in one day. It's impossible. So it was after that, all the other things that happened during the time before even winning, I didn't overcome it. So all of that was all packed into one basket, and I said I can't. So it wasn't until the beginning of this year that's when things settled down, because it was too much. It was way too much that if I ever go back, if someone told me to do it again, I said never.
You're doing it again.
Yeah, I'm doing it again.
We're gonna do Mrs. I don't know, Community Congolese Miss Pride.
Oh no, it's too
Here's
much.
another video for you guys of her being interviewed once again in regards to being a Miss Congo and AIDS active.
To Shine TV, today I have the privilege to receive the Miss UK Congo 2017. I'm with Horcelie.
So my name is Horcelie Sinda Wambongo. I'm 21. I'm a student. I'm also the new Miss Congo UK 2017. My passion since I was 9 years old has always been to become an artist, more fine art. So I want to exhibit my work in international countries, for example, even Africa, German, America, to really explore and expand as a Congolese woman. There's not many, Congolese artists. So that's really my passion, as well as work in development for HIV and AIDS in education. So I went to volunteer in South Africa I was there for 3 months with other young people. I joined Miss and I thought, okay, the way for me to continue my work was 6 months we had to do action at home. So the way for me to do that is to join the Miss, because I know that within beauty pageants they do like charity work based, and I want to raise specifically awareness in HIV and AIDS. So that's one of the reasons why I joined Miss Congo UK, and along the way we also had to raise money. So part of my action at home, I raised money and give it to Restless Development. I did enjoy the journey. It was very challenging, but I did enjoy the journey. I met, beautiful young girls we have one girl who's entrepreneurs, who are students, intelligent, talented singers. So everyone comes from different background. I'm not a singer myself, but we have so many different talents on the table, go forward in life. So it has definitely been challenging for every single one of us. No, I think as a child I thought myself as a dancer, because I love dancing. If you watch the Miss Congo, you see us, we were dancing and rehearsing, and even the videos that we had for ourselves. So as a child I wanted to be an artist, really a dancer, and I think that kind of went slightly differently, where I now chose to specifically focus on art. Is to trust God in everything that you're doing. So I think for me, that's what I try, no matter where I am, is to trust God. To discover yourself as a person and find different things and different people that have similar talents as you are, and get to know them. Really find what you're good at, even if it's talking, which is something I discovered that I actually do enjoy talking. Take it easy. Persistent in everything I'm doing. I was sometimes thinking too far ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, I need to really take it easy and enjoy what's happening now.
And another amazing video. As you can see, she was featured in news with the Asian community. She was featured in the news in a show, basically talk shows with the Caribbean community. Ongoing. If I was to sit here and pick every video that I know or that I have or that I can find, especially on YouTube, just to show you guys about all her activities that she's done, I think the show will never finish. Like literally, it will never finish. So I've got a few more questions in regards to Miss Congo. As we can see from the videos, it was a journey. It was an amazing journey, and like you said, you're very challenging, and you went in for the ball and you got what you wanted. But towards the end, it got a bit bitter for the audience. You were no longer the Miss Congo that we crowned. What happened?
Like I said, it was too much, and I got to the point where I was giving out so much. You know, when you're giving so much, you gain nothing in return. It's quite sickening. It's a lonely place to be. It's tiring, and it's frustrating as well. And I don't think I was in the place to continue with the pageantry anymore. I just wanted to finish with it, and because I was focusing on other things as well, and I was preparing to travel all the way to America and come back, and the things that I personally wanted to do was not so much, even though people can say you did a lot, but what I wanted to do in terms of educating, actually bringing people in, and not speak to them from a distance, because when you speak to people distant, they can't hear you properly. You have to shout, but when they're closer, they can hear you, they can understand you, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I felt like, for me personally, I didn't achieve that, and I wasn't I was not in the hands of people for me to achieve that. That's why I said no, you know, it's better that is to walk this journey. You know, I've walked it alone anyway, and it's my journey.
It's your journey.
So I thought, you know, sometimes walking the journey alone, there's a reason why you do that, instead of trying to bring other people to distract you.
But in every like literally every journey that we walk on, from birth till death, we literally never really do walk it alone. There's always assistance. There's a season for everything, a season for everyone in your life. Some people start with you from beginning to end. Most of the time, families have no choice but to be from beginning to end. And other people that you meet in professional industries, it's, you know, there's a season for everything. You had your season. 2017 was your season to be crowned as the Miss Congo, and you had the season to do all the activities under the name of Miss Congo. So, but towards the end, you felt like that season had to die down, simply because
it died down already along the way. If you were with me, and you would see that it was slowly drifting. I was slowly drifting. I was drifting myself purposefully. I was drifting because when I took a step back and I viewed things and actually tried to see a different perspective, I said, this is not it. This is not what I tried to. This wasn't my objective, to, you know, to just be interviewed. Interview is another thing, but when you bring people in, it's like in school. When you bring people in school, they sit down, not necessarily sit down, but you engage. That's the word. When you engage with people,
to be active in
exactly. People are educated, and I can tell you, within the community, although I've been here for a year, and when I say I've been here for a year, people have known me for a year. Those who have, I doubt that people even know the difference between HIV and AIDS. And that wasn't the objective. The objective was, for the time that I am still your queen,
to educate,
I can still educate that. So that people, when people send me messages, they want to ask me, oh, I heard you have AIDS. I don't have AIDS. Like, I don't have AIDS, I have HIV. And when I started hearing that, I said, there's a problem here. There's a problem here, and this problem needs to be addressed. And that's why I took a step back, and I said no, because I haven't achieved exactly
what you wanted to achieve.
Exactly.
You were very loud about your decision as well. I have a picture that you posted in regards to stating that, you know, thank you for having me. I've made my mind. I've made up my decision. We have it there that you posted on your Instagram. In your Twitter. You announcing to the audience that, you know, I had a great time. Thanks for the opportunity. But, you know, it's time for me to dash and for me to carry on with my next, you know, whatever that's coming next. Do you feel like maybe you could have announced it to us differently? Because social media can betray things in a many way. Being that loud can look like maybe this should have been dealt with differently. Is that the mature way to deal with it? How did the management team?
I think that depends on it depends on what the situation is, because there's no way I'll put myself in the media and say something that's ridiculous and that's stupid. Maybe I have said something that's quite stupid, maybe not the most intellectual thing I've said, but I wouldn't put myself in a place where I look stupid in front of people, because this is the media we're talking about. Social media, this is social media. People don't know you, people don't care about you, they don't care about what you do, they just follow you. Like, so what? So doing it publicly, I won publicly. I have to do it publicly, because when I won publicly, everyone
you
was
crowned
like,
me in the public, so I will exit in the public.
So because if it was dealt with behind closed doors, it would have been a different story. People would have said other things. It wouldn't come out from my own mouth. But if I say to you, this is my decision, then you have nothing to say.
Did you get the opportunity? Because we have a picture of you with the girls as well, and one of the management team during the best of the first edition of the is it Best of Congo, the Best of Congo Award? You were there representing and everything, and I would take it that was probably the last time that you represented with them, because that was last year.
No, I think the last time I did a public thing, I think it was July. I think it was around June, because we did Yellow Sunday in June, and that was Miss Congo. We finished with that. Yeah, it was like around July. I probably had 1 or 2 interviews around that time, and then that was it. But during the other time, I had other interviews alongside and other things that I was doing on my own. I was doing other activism, but like being in with the Crown.
But the announcement, you made that announcement like
that was in February this year. Yeah.
Okay. So having done that, later on we discover another member did the same thing, and that there was only one left. Do you think you guys could have done it differently, perhaps hang in there till they crown the next queen, or you just wanted to go, you were tired?
No, because if I'm stuck in the mud and I've been stuck for a long time, I will cry out for help unless I want to stay there for a long time. So it's to say, if you are being put, not you being put, but if you're in a place, in a situation, a relationship with, if something that's going in your life and you can change that, you have to change that. No one else can change it for you. And the person who also quit, that's her decision. We all made our own decision. The person who stayed, that's her decision, and that was my decision. So yeah, I think is knowing when to say no, like, and knowing when to say no, and know when to say yes. You know, this is enough. I have to continue with my journey, and God knows the journey, and God has put me in this place for a reason, and I can't just be playing around. Yeah, I can't be. HIV is it's a very serious topic, and if you go around with it in a media way, you forget what development work is, because development work is not about media coverage, celebrity. No, that's not what it is. It's hard work. So if I'm putting my hard work forward and I'm seeing that, you know, the response that I'm getting with those ones I'm working with, the response I'm getting from the public is not really acknowledged. It's not acknowledged. It's not what people are. I'm not doing enough, or maybe I am doing enough. It's just people are people. That's what you can say.
Humans are humans.
Yeah, humans are humans. So you just have to understand that certain doors we could have closed it for a long time, but then we're just staying there for no reason. Why I used to stay in that house?
They are comfortable.
You know, exactly. Why I used to staying in that house?
The house is warm.
No. You have to learn to leave. You know, but do it in a wise way. Don't just leave because you want attention. I didn't do this for attention. HIV is not attention, but the work is very hard, and I'm only by myself in the community doing this, and so it's just good that I keep doing the work.
But one could beg to differ to say that the fact that you said yourself you're crowned in the public, so you're exiting the public.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was done in such a way, one could say, it was their attention.
It was out of anger.
Okay.
I can't lie. It was, because if you read that properly, even though it was written.
Can we have it back? Let's really read it. Let her read it for us.
Oh no, that's awkward. That's very awkward. But it was written in it wasn't aggressive.
Yeah.
It wasn't aggressive. I remember the place that I was actually going along somewhere and I was writing it. It was done very settled. I wanted to be frank. Yeah. I don't want it to be, oh, this happened, this. No. There's people who don't need to know that. It's just say, I'm glad.
I have made a decision to let you all know that I quit, capital quit, Miss Congo UK. I am no longer your queen. I will no longer be representing Miss Congo UK. Thank you for the many support that you have shown me. Thank you for the many opportunities. It has been a frustrating journey, and I have come to terms to close this chapter. God knows my deeds. I am happy to open new chapter. Thank you. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You know, it was fun having you. So like you said, at the time, you were angry. I can understand when you're angry about something, you just want to go bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
and you're done.
Yeah.
But when you took time to calm down, did you reflect on the action that you took at that point?
I think I did it in a very subtle way. Don't forget, we're Congolese people. We can destroy somebody's life.
That alone can look like...
Oh, no.
Because there was a letter as well that we don't have. That's going a bit overboard, you know. An email that was sent from the management team. That alone it looks like she's coming to attack me.
No.
Attack my company name.
For what people do in what we've seen in social media in other places, what people do, what I did was settled. It's very, very settled.
But that's the first time that such thing has happened to them. So in other words, that looks like
it'll probably be the last
company being attacked.
No, I wasn't attacking them. I was just announcing to everyone so that when I see you, you know that I'm no longer representing anybody. Or I represent other organizations, but I'm no longer representing that particular organization.
But it's difficult for you not to represent per se, because there is... You've seen it all. The audience have seen the videos from BBC News to Asian community to the Caribbean community. You were being shown that you were crowned the Miss Congo for 2017. So you will go places and people will say, this is the former Miss Congo.
You know what's funny? You say that. I was doing a campaign this year. It was just after I quit in March, just when I came back from America. And a woman said, oh, she's a Miss Congo. I said, I'm not Miss Congo anymore. She said, oh, so what's your name? I said, are you serious? Like,
because they've got to know, that's the image that's
what I mean.
A lot of people.
So it will take a long time for people to just remember that I'm not.
Even if they wipe out the image, they can and probably will still say former Miss, because you were crowned as the Miss. So because you're not the Miss anymore, so they can still state you as the former Miss. You can't go around telling every single person or every single individual, just don't call me that, don't call me that. I'm not representing them. So that is not in your hand.
I understand that it's something that comes natural. I went to Ghana in the park, and I was interviewing people, and someone is also, you look familiar. So you can't really.
There you have it.
I understand that, but it's what is done is done. I don't carry bitterness in anyone, in any situation. You can't be bitter. You can't be angry. I'm not angry. As you can see, I'm not angry. I'm no longer frustrated. Because what is the need? What's that going to do with my well-being? But like I said, I'm stress-free. I'm still campaigning. I'm still doing activism work. It's a long journey. This journey could take 10 years.
Will you still recommend or encourage those who want to take that journey with that team?
If you feel like that's what you want to do, my question is, if you want to enter any beauty pageant, my question is, what is it that you are going to do to impact people? That's my question. Because you can do the same work outside of any beauty pageant.
Because you said you had a vision, and you feel like you want to achieve it. But to achieve those vision and aim, because you're going to work with an existing established company, so therefore you want them to be able to guide you as well.
Not necessarily. Because people don't understand. People think beauty pageant is you walk, you look pretty, you dress nice, you wave, you smile. My friend, it's very stressful. It's a very stressful thing. That's what I said. You as an individual, people make impact in many different ways. You don't need a beauty pageant. You actually don't. I went to South Africa. No one knew who I was. I was there doing work with other people, and I was doing my part in what God has given me, the skills God has given me here in the world. I don't need a beauty pageant, because you don't. And that's the problem with young people. They feel like they need to attach to something so badly, and sometimes when you're looking for something desperately, it's not going to work. You have to be wise, because this is the media. You have to be very, very, and you have to be careful, and you have to have some guidance, because I was blessed enough to have those guidance from parents, from family and friends, but some people don't. So they get this exposure, and then they find themselves, whoa, we see celebrities, exactly, we see celebrities, what happened, blah, blah, blah. So that's the problem. So my problem is not you joining the beauty pageant, is what are you going to do? Why is it so important for you to do beauty pageant? I had my friends, before they found out I was HIV positive, they all told me, Horcelie, why are you doing this? You can't, knowing you, Horcelie, you're too smart for this. Why are you doing this? But I didn't know why I was doing it. It wasn't after.
It was an aim.
It wasn't until afterwards. So I think that's what it is. If you want to do your beauty pageant, that's your choice. Yeah. But the problem, because I can't make choices.
Can't make choices for them.
Exactly. But the problem with me is, try to do other things before. Try to impact other people before. Know other people. Know what the world needs. Because we're feeding the world. How are you going to feed the world?
Into the world? Yeah.
So that's my issue with young people, because I have a different experience. I may be wise enough to say I want to do this and tell Miss Congo UK, or go in public and say, but someone else might not can handle it as much as I can, because we all have different skills. Yeah. So you can be 19 years old, you want a beauty pageant, and it's too overwhelming for you. You're too young. You don't have the right guidance, and you may not have the right management. Yeah. How's that going to impact you? It's not going to impact you in a good way. So that's what I mean is, you need to know what you're trying to feed us with, and don't feed us into stupidity, and don't feed us into things that is like a wind. It comes and it goes. But it needs to be something
something that is solid.
Exactly. And once you've planted that seed, no matter how far, no matter whether you die, no matter whether you become crippled, you're 80,
keep on growing.
People, and there'll be other people that will continue building that. And that's the whole point of this. Because I could have entered, Miss Africa Great Britain. I could have entered that. Why did I specifically go to my community? Because I knew, your community. I know what my community needs in terms of development work. That's what Miss Congo UK is. That's what pageantry is. It's development work. If you don't want to go for pageant, there's so many charities. There are millions of charities.
So in regards to your other activities, we have a Yellow Sunday. I'm going to show one of your Yellow Sunday videos now. Yeah. So the audience can get an insight to what it is in regards to Yellow Sunday.
Mbote, my name is Horcelie Sinda Wambongo. I am Miss Congo UK 2017. I'm also a third-year final student. On Sunday, June 18th, I'm convening Yellow Sunday to raise money to train 1,000 Congolese women to become nurses, to ease Congo's health crisis, and I need you to join me. Yellow Sunday is the Congolese people's annual one-day campaign, which asks people across the globe to wear something yellow in solidarity with the Congolese people. We want to support 10,000 Congolese women in 10 sectors over the next 10 years. Think of it as our attempt to bend the arc of gender inequality a little towards gender equality. Now, training a nurse costs on average $400 a year. So we need $1,200 for the 3 years course times by 1,000. That is 1.2 million US dollars. Or, as I like to think of it, we need 100,000 people who are willing to donate £10, €10, $10 each on Yellow Sunday. Now, you might be wondering, why nurses? Well, partially because Congo is facing a health crisis. Figure shows that we have about 28,000 nurses looking after 77 million people. Angola, with 25 million people, have about 35,000 nurses. This critical health crisis is made worse by the growing challenges poverty poses, especially within the adult women population. Add to this the ongoing wars and conflicts, the humanitarian crisis that accompanies them, and the spread of HIV and AIDS due to the use of rape as a weapon of war. This fundraising will not only help improve Congo's ability to fight treatable diseases, but also help save millions of lives each year. Another reason I'm deeply passionate about this is because women are the backbone of Congolese society. This fundraising will help make them financially independent, enable them to protect their families and communities, and in the long run, it will help from the injuries it has endured over the past 20 years. So remember, Yellow Sunday is on Sunday, 18th of June. And we need to do 4 things in support of Congolese women. 1. Wear something yellow in solidarity with the Congolese people. 2. Take a picture wearing something yellow and upload it on social media using hashtag Yellow Sunday. We want the whole world to go yellow on June 18th. 3. Donate. We need to raise $1.2 million for 1,000 Congolese women. 4. Spread the word and tell your friends and family and get them involved.
Hey, welcome back. I hope you watched that video. I hope you understood what it is in regards to campaign for Yellow Sunday. She has been campaigning for Yellow Sunday since it started. She was also the ambassador for it again. One of the ambassadors for it again.
No, I wasn't.
You were not the ambassador.
It was Mama Bert and Benedict.
And
I was behind the scene. I was working with the team, but yeah.
Tell us a bit more about it.
Oh, so okay. So Yellow Sunday is a 10 years campaign which started initiative by Baba Tapa, who is an activist as well in the community, and he started in 2016. So they started with the previous winner of 2016, Miss Congo UK winner, and I joined in 2017. So what it is we're trying to equip women, 1,000 women to become not just nurses, but to become independent and to be educated in 10 different sectors. So that could be becoming a nurse, becoming a teacher, anything that requires, again, it's part of development. Anything that requires them to become independent for the community that they're in. So they don't have to travel to Europe and try to get a visa to go and study because it's more expensive. But if they become independent in their communities and they have the form of education, the training, because last year we started with training nurses or training women to become nurses. So in the next 10 years, and with that is we train them with the fundraising that we do here in the UK or even globally, because we're trying to make it a global campaign. And once they become they're trained, because I think it's for 3 years to train. It takes 3 years to train. So it may not be correct, but it takes 3 years to train a nurse, and that's $450. So with that, they will need support along the way. So that's basically what it is. And this year, what we've raised is with the nurses that already started the course last year, with the money we raised, we support them along the way. So that's what it is. So next year, we hope it will be even bigger and better. So that's basically what Yellow Sunday is training women to become independent over the next 10 years, and equipping 10,000 people
in the medical field.
Yeah, in the medical field basically. So that's what Yellow Sunday is, and it's not my initiative.
It's not your initiative. It's founder of Save the Congo.
But the person who was the CEO this year, I forgot, Leticia. She was the CEO for Yellow Sunday this year, and we were working along with her to campaign, to build the campaign. Yeah, so that's basically what it was. Yeah,
amazing. It's good that you're active within the community. You're active within educating people. In regards to education, and I said earlier on at the beginning of the show, I want to know what is, like, I have an insight, I have basic general knowledge, but because I don't have the condition, or I don't know people around me who have the condition, I think the viewers would like to understand as well. How did you come about having HIV to start with?
Okay, so I was born HIV positive, so it wasn't a sexual intercourse. It wasn't
so
that
one of your parents, someone had it.
Yeah, so because children that are born HIV positive is transmitted through sometimes blood transmission, or because it's called mother to child. So there are many ways that you contract HIV or contract AIDS. Is mother to child transmission, is through sexual intercourse, or let's say basic, without using a condom or using any preventions. And other way, it could be through let's say people who use the kind of blood transmission. But with blood transmission is if the person living with HIV is not undetectable. So before I can get to undetectable, so HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. It's a virus. AIDS, I don't know the term because it's just so hard to remember, but AIDS is basically,
is it like when HIV has past the level of being HIV.
Not necessarily. Is when they say you contracted HIV today, and you didn't do a test for it, and you know you were HIV, you contracted HIV. So what develops into AIDS is when you accommodate, your body receives so many different other viruses. For example, a flu. For example, because you can be HIV positive, you also contract, you get what's called TB, tuberculosis,
and that will make it worse.
Yeah. So anything, because what happens is when you are HIV positive, if you're not on medication, your immune system becomes very low. So we have our red white cells and we have our white blood cells. Every human being has this. And what our red and white blood cells is fight any infections. That, for example, if you got a cold, you have a paracetamol, it's there to fight it. Your body fights it naturally. However, someone like me, I can't naturally fight it because of the virus. But the medication, which we call antiretrovirals, that's what we call ANTs for short. So antiretrovirals, or ART. That medication is helping to fight the virus. That's living. It's helping to fight HIV. So it helps you to fight it to the point where you can have sex with somebody only if you're undetectable, and
so you
if
can
you're
have
on
a
the
relationship, basically.
Yeah, you can have. There's people who are HIV positive and they still get gonorrhea and chlamydia and other different sexual infections.
Can you have kids without them being born HIV
so
positive?
with ants as well, because of the medical research, because of medical developments of the medications, it's literally in the UK, because you have to base it. Like I said, this work is quite political, because it is political. So you have to base it on the countries that people live in. For example, here in the UK, it's like 0.001% chance that your child will be born HIV. And even as you're pregnant,
is that because when you're pregnant, there's procedures to go? So you're not going to have a natural
medication
birth.
No, you have a natural.
Like a C-section
you
or something.
you have a natural.
You can have a natural birth.
You have a natural birth. You have a natural birth. Don't forget, when you're pregnant as well, they do the scan to see if there's anything wrong with you, with the child, and all of that, just to prevent you from passing on the virus to your child. And they will give you medications for that. I don't know the name of that specific medication, but they'll give you medication to, when you're taking it, that your child will not be born HIV positive.
So you can have a relationship with someone
who's not HIV. Yeah, and they will not
contract it.
No, they will not contract HIV. You can use you see it, maybe perhaps it's so new in our community now, but you see stories where a woman marries a man, or a man marries a woman that is not HIV positive, and they have children, and then they live for a very long time. So it's about taking the medication. So when I said it was political, it's political. Why? Because not every country has access to this medication, and not every country has a government to provide for this medication.
DRC, Congo.
Yeah, we talk about Congo. We talk about many, even some Indian countries as well. HIV is quite high. But when we talk about Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, we do have the highest number. Like, for example, the highest epidemic in all around the world is South Africa. You've got Nigeria as well in the high epidemic. Congo is actually not one of the highest. We're actually not. But we only have the highest number of people with HIV because of the lack of medical treatment. Exactly, because of this, we don't have clinics. So that's the point of why I do my activism, and alongside Yellow Sunday as well, is learning how a country can build a medical, not just medical, a good people. Imagine we all live in one country, we all die in some illness. What's going to happen to the doctors? What's going to happen to leaders? We're not going to have leaders. So it becomes very, very political, because you ask yourself, why is it that this country, women, because it's mostly women and children, when you look at Sub-Saharan Africa, women and children are contracting HIV. Women, we carry the child. If we're all dying in the same illness, how are we going to reproduce even? That's the word. How are we going to reproduce?
Nobody will be fruitful
anymore. Exactly. And we are all, and children are dying. We've seen in Congo, malnutrition is very, very high. Forget about HIV. But malnutrition is very high. So let's say you are, as a mother, you are HIV positive, and your child contracts HIV, and you're dealing with malnutrition. And people who are HIV positive, you have to have a healthy diet. You have to eat well. You need food. We all need food to survive. But because you're on that medication, which is quite strong for your body, that's why you see some people, they have the medication in certain countries, but they die because of poverty. So you have to look at the activism that I do. You have to look at it in other sectors. You have to look at it in terms of education. Are people educated? You have to look at it in terms of health. Are people receiving the right health treatments who are HIV positive, and you have to see it in terms of the policies around them. Are the policies, you know, are the policies of these people, is it covering them? Is it enough of these people? Is it enough of, and then when you look at that too, you're looking at communities. Each communities, because I come from Kinshasa, some people are born in Kivu, some people are born in Kasai, some people are born in Equateur. So you have to remember, are people in Equateur receiving the same information as people in Kinshasa?
Yeah.
So that's when it becomes a bit political, because we have to work along, because Youth Stop AIDS, they work alongside government, they work alongside MPs. When I go and speak in
and
parliament,
it's the government's duties to make sure that they reach to all those regions.
The reason why we have sexual health is that so people are learning about sexual health, but also people are staying healthy.
So how old were you when you were sat down and being told that, like, you are HIV positive, this is how you have to go about life, this is what you can do, and this is what you cannot do?
So I was told when I was 11 years old, so a very young age.
Quite young, and you took it very well.
Yeah, I was very young, a very young age. I was 11 years old. I didn't even know much about HIV either. I just knew I had an illness and I'm living with this illness. Like I always say, people in our community don't know the difference between HIV and AIDS, and I just explained it, and it will be great. There's so many websites. You can go to what's called NAT, they speak about HIV. You go to Youth Stop AIDS.
Just Google alone, you can get information.
There are so many. Don't just trust Google. Speak to people.
No, I mean, like, they can type. They're like, it's a question of seeking for research.
Exactly.
So there's many ways for you and many places for you to go and learn and seek the research.
And there's so many workshops I worked with, even in our own little communities. For example, in East London, in North London, there are many facilities, there are many workshops. For example, there's Positive East that I spoke with. I was actually inviting me to speak. I think it was around April. It was around April, or May. It was around May, and I will speak for around those communities. And Positive East, try to equip everyone in East London, around the area, and even elsewhere. So there are so many. So one cannot tell me we don't have enough information.
We don't have enough information.
Especially
not in London
this
anyway.
country.
Not living
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't tell me. But what's shocking is what even young people who go to school don't know the difference between HIV and AIDS. But they
were not paying attention.
No, it's not just that. It's the way it's been delivered in the school. Because I went to school too, and I went to school. No one knew I was HIV positive. But then again, I didn't know myself.
Did you find it difficult to tell people around you?
Yeah, it was difficult to tell people, but also difficult how people receive it, because people come from different backgrounds.
Yeah, pretty much you'd be like,
yeah, what is that? I don't want to be a friend. So that's what it is very political.
What are the things that you cannot do in order to make sure that you don't pass it on, like simple things as the hygienes?
No, there's no such thing. I can touch you, I can hug you, I can I can drink in the same cup as you, I can share the same bathroom. Can
you share the same toothbrush with someone? The
same toothbrush, but then again, the toothbrush could be a little bit of blood. But at the same time, is if the person, for example, I'm undetectable, which means I can't pass on. I did a campaign this year and last year through Terrence Against Trust. It's called Can't Pass It On. And what Can't Pass It On is that people living with HIV who are on treatments can't pass on HIV in any different forms. You can't pass on HIV at all.
It's only those who are not detected, who are not under medication,
those who are detectable.
Okay.
Those who are. So those who aren't. So those who are undetectable can't pass on. Or those who are detectable. Because don't forget, I think there's like 100,000 people in the UK who are HIV positive, but there's only 30% who know the status. So you could be walking around someone who's HIV. Some people have had one night stand with somebody who's HIV positive, and that person doesn't know their status. That's what the message is, getting people tested and making sure people know the status, and that people are not surprised and shocked, and know that even if you do contract the HIV, you can stay on treatment. But no one wants to contract HIV anyway, so you should be doing yourself a favor, and not because you're married. Because some people think, oh, because I'm married now. No, it's just good that you and the couple have this information. Is a very, very good. It's just the same way as how everyone was taught how to put on a condom. It's very good that you know this stuff. It's good for your well-being. So we have to treat HIV in the Congolese community that it is part of our well-being. Because if we are all in Congo dying of AIDS, we are not developing the country. That's the simple way to put it. And that's not. I don't go around telling people I'm living HIV. I go around educating.
Well, you look healthy.
Exactly.
Always out there touching your stuff.
So it's about getting people to understand that this is development work. This is for everyone to be informed you know, every schools in Congo, every health. You'd be surprised, even some doctors in Congo don't know what HIV is, even here in the UK, and they don't handle it well. They'll tell you HIV positive, that was your problem. You see what I mean? So it's got to do, you have to also consider, you know, the culture that people are in.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult, intense work, but, you know, it's keep going and keep doing what I'm doing today, and people inviting you to really try and educate people. And people, our community, people, we need to really become more and more open about certain things. Not about everything, but really become open. The more open we are, the more information we receive. So that's basically my message to the Congolese community. We need to become open about other health. Like, you know, I do presenting, and we present about autism. Autism is another taboo in our community.
Those are all mental health issues that people do not like to discuss. The thing that I like to touch on.
Yeah, so it's basically education, health. We Congolese people, I can say in Ghana, nous avons besoin de, you know, to hear about makambo. C'est vraiment important pour nous to hear about makambo. So it's about learning. It's as simple as that. Just learn the facts, learn the information. No matter where you are, we all have smartphones. Don't tell me you're like, oh, I couldn't. Maybe not in
Someone
Congo.
could be busy just checking out Facebook and
if
Instagram.
you can check
WhatsApp
Facebook
messages,
and take 5 minutes of time to just learn one thing a day,
very true.
Impact. Yeah.
Very true. Thank you very much for this insight, for the education that I have received myself, that the viewers have also received. Do you have any messages that you want to say to them?
Stay positive, impact the world, work hard, learn from other people, and you only learn, you only grow when you're learning from people who are wiser than you. So walk around people who are wiser than you, and you will learn a lot more of what the world needs.
Amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all those who are watching, for all those who are commenting. Thank you so much for all your positive feedbacks, and once again, thank you for everyone in the studio for all your supports. Before I end the show, well, I'm going to end the show saying goodbye to you now, but I'm going to show you guys a video of her speaking about being HIV active in her life. But apart from that, I shall see you here, same place, same time, next week on the Young Queen Talk Show. Thank you. Have a good one.
HIV. And before then, please explain to us what HIV is about, what it is.
So I was born HIV positive.
Okay.
And I was told when I was 11 years old. And so HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus, which just means that naturally our immune system can fight viruses, flus, and all of that. But once you contract HIV, if you live in HIV, your normal immune system can no longer fight the virus.
Okay.
So you have to live on medication or ARV to be specific. So that's what HIV is.
How did you discover that you were HIV positive?
So it was actually firstly a normal visit to the hospital.
Okay.
So basically it was at 10 years old. My mum would start giving me medication every single day before I went to school, and at that time I was in primary school. So I was taking those every day, and she just told me it was vitamins.
Okay.
Then one day, I think when I turned 11 years old, one day we went to the doctors, and I thought it was another day.
Normal visit.
Yeah, exactly, to the hospital. But this time it was different because I saw my mother, she stayed behind, and the doctors, or the nurse actually, took me in, and she sat me down. She started explaining to me what HIV is, what it does to the body. And then I remember it was a very small room, and then she just kept on going, and then she paused, and I asked her, so does that mean I have it?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Just to bring you back. At the age of 10, you discovered your mother was giving you things like, what precisely was she giving you?
She was giving me ARVs. So
is that the name of the medication?
Yeah, that's the names of HIV. So anyone that's HIV positive, they take ARV. So it stands for antiretrovirals.
Okay.
And it starts from all different doses because depending on in which, I wouldn't use the word spectrum. It depends on which level you're at, because they can't just give you any medication, because everybody that's HIV positive is on different medication. It's still the same thing, but it's different medication. So when I was 10 years old, I started taking the liquid medication.
Okay. Were you not taken to the hospital? Your mom just started giving it to you?
No. I was taken to the hospital.
Yeah.
I remember took her to a hospital last time. It was it started with like scanning and blood tests and all of that, just to ensure that you know, if I was HIV positive or not. And then that's when the medication, because it wouldn't be right to give medication. So
obviously nobody at that first point told you that you had something.
No.
So yeah, going back to that. So you went back at 11.